Hi! Today is very special for me because being a yoga practitioner, my concern has always been I want to do yoga every day, but with more conciseness and a correct form of yoga. So, today, to give more insight on yoga and to provide us more helpful tips on our everyday basis, today I have a very special person with me. She is not only just a Hatha Yoga teacher, but she is very joyful. She believes in living consciously, and she is a certified classical Hatha Yoga teacher from Sadguru Gurukulam. Please help me welcome Anshuba Manandhar in my studio Shine with Kiran. So Anshuvadi, I'm so glad that you are here today finally.
Thank you.
Welcome
Thanks
to
for
my
having me.
podcast on Shine with Kiran, and thank you so much for making time out of your very busy schedule.
Thank you for having me, Kiran. Very
Thank
happy
you.
to be here.
Yeah, so let's begin with the invocation.
Asatoma sadgamaya tamasoma jyotirgamaya mrityorma
Mritangamaya.
Shanti,
Shanti, Shanti. So, Anshvadi, actually, I have known you from quite a couple of years back, and you have always inspired me. You have always motivated me to do yoga. If I feel like demotivated someday, and I instantly go to your Instagram page, literally, because you are someone who every day gives me a message, right? In the morning or in the evening, whichever time. But I have to do my yoga. So tell me about your life before yoga. How was it? As far as I know, from 2016 to 2018, you were in the state, right?
Yeah.
So how was the life in the state?
Oh my God, this makes me really reminisce those days. I used to be just a normal person. I think I still am. Um, I went for my master's MBA, Master's in Business Administration in the United States from 2016 to 2018. And I went through, I would say, one of the most challenging experiences of my life when I was there, because I was going out in a different country all by myself, and I was just cut off emotionally. You know, that I used to have that support, but now I had to do everything on my own. So I was figuring everything out. So it was one of the biggest learning experiences of my life, I would say. Yes.
So, a lot of time I have heard from people, and there is a very popular quote, right? When everything ends, spirituality begins. So, what was on your side? Was it like that when you went to the state? And so, how do you like to?
Okay, so when I went there, I was very focused and very ambitious, and I was going along the lines of doing business and, or working at a bank or becoming a banker. So I would work day and night to make that happen with college work, with work and other things, and I became very burnt out.
Mhm.
And I was going through a lot of stress, like how normal kids nowadays are also going through,
Yeah,
right?
I can
So
relate to that.
it was a lot of stress, and I was going through sort of like an emotional disconnect from everybody.
Mhm.
And I was seeking something that would keep me going. And I was not able to find out what it was. And I was heading towards also becoming physically ill. And one day when I was in the US, I just got a phone call from home. And it was my mom. So she's like, I heard that she had cancer.
Oh,
So it
okay.
was breast cancer. And it was just like, I couldn't believe what was happening, you know. I
Yeah.
became speechless that whole day, you can say. So from that day on, I started thinking, why did this happen to her? And how can I change myself so that I don't end up that way? And I realized that there were so many things that I needed to change: my lifestyle habits, the way I used to think. And that in that moment, you know, just somewhere along that in that time, I came across Sadhguru video.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, who is this person? He looks like a sage, but he's speaking in very articulate English. And I was very intrigued. So I listened to him and I was hooked. And I started doing something called Isha Kriya.
Oh, okay.
So which is offered free also. It's on YouTube, right? So then I started doing this and I continued doing this for a year.
Oh,
And
it's quite a long time.
Yes, because there was this program that he was also offering called Inner Engineering. And at that time, it was not available where I was living.
Okay.
So I was doing Isha Kriya. And then later I got initiated into Inner Engineering. And that's when my yoga journey began.
Okay. So after doing Isha Kriya only, you were mentally prepared that you wanted to go a little bit up in the spiritual journey of spirituality, or like, because, you know, like deciding to go to inner engineering also needs some kind of, you know.
Actually, it dates back to a really long time. I remember when I was 7 years old, my grandma asked me this question, who are you?
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I am Anshuba. And she said, no, you're not Anshuba. This is just what has come up. This is what you've eaten. This is your body.
You have just what
This
accumulated.
is what is you. Yes, she said, this is what you've accumulated. But who are you? Then that was such a strange question to me. I just stayed with that question
to a
for
7-year-old, right?
And I think that was the seed of spirituality that she sowed in me. And my family has always been into these kind of spiritual path also. My grandfather, my grandmother. So I have always been under their guidance and under their care. And I've always known these things growing up, you know, that about yoga and about reading scriptures in those days. My grandmother would read it to me.
Oh, wow.
So I had that kind of growing up, I really had that environment around me. But I feel like it flowered when I did Isha Kriya. And then when I decided that this is what I want to do, I felt like it was a calling for me.
Yeah, from a very long time.
Yes. And inner engineering felt like, the program to me felt like I have to do this. There is nothing else right now that I want to do apart from this, you know, so there was a pull. So I decided to join the program.
Wow.
Yes.
So आजकल चाहिँ अब भनौँ न स्पिरिचुअलिटी भन्ने बित्तिकै मान्छेहरूको दिमागमा चाहिँ कस्तो हुन्छ भने स्पिरिचुअल भन्ने बित्तिकै येल्लो कलरको लुगा लगाउने, अरेन्ज कलरको लुगा लाउने होइन, अनि गोइङ टु समवेयर, अनि त्यसपछि मेडिटेट गरिरहेको होइन, हुन्छ नि मान्छेहरू त्यस्तो भयो. तर वेन आई सी पिपल इन एसिया देयर इज कम्प्लिटली डिफ्रेन्ट. हाम्रो जुन पर्सेप्सन एउटा छ नि मेडिटेसन योगा भन्ने बित्तिकै चाहिँ कुनै कर्नरमा गएर गर्नुपर्छ अथवा चाहिँ यस्तो खालको क्राइटेरिया हुनुपर्छ भन्ने छ नि. सो what is that one thing that really differs from the rest of the world to like Isha?
So this is a myth that योगा गर्दाखेरि हामीले येल्लो कलरको लुगा लाउनुपर्छ
Yeah.
or white नै लाउनुपर्छ or
Yeah.
हिमालको माथि बसेर
Exactly.
गर्न
We have normally
जानुपर्छ.
seen that kind of image नि त हामी हुर्केदेखिबाटै
Yes.
दाढी धेरै पालेको अथवा चाहिँ कपालहरू बानेको
Or
मेसी
nowadays it's like yoga गर्नको लागि flexible हुनुपर्छ
Yeah,
हैन
exactly.
अनि योगा गर्नको लागि I have to go to a studio, I have to
Yeah.
wear my certain kind of yoga clothing.
Yeah, which is very popular in today's time.
Yes. So these are just I would say it looks at yoga in a very limited way. Especially when you're looking at people doing yoga just, for flexibility or because you are flexible, only then you can do yoga.
Yeah.
So that is just a limited belief. Classical Hatha Yoga is offered in its purest form, and it's offered as a holistic spiritual process, which is not just like a physical exercise. So this is a tool that helps an individual go through transformation, and it opens up higher possibilities for an individual. So unlike just a physical exercise, it also looks at aspects of your body, your mind, your energies, your emotions. So you know how it's like हामीले कुनै अब जस्तो गिटारलाई हामीले फाइन ट्युन गर्छौँ नि हैन अनि त्यो ट्युन ठ्याक्क मिलेपछि राम्रोसँग बज्छ नि त.
Yeah.
So I feel like classical Hatha Yoga is just like that, fine tuning yourself,
Yeah.
so that your greater potential is opened up.
True.
Yeah.
So युएसमा बस्दा पनि तपाईले हुन्छ नि योगा गर्छु भन्ने जुन अथवा चाहिँ हाटा योगा के टिचर ट्रेनिङ as far as I know it's like almost for 5 to 6 months in the ashram, right? So how did you decided to go for a Hatha Yoga teacher training? So I can I found a picture. I think it's finally you were certified
Yes.
as a Hatha Yoga teacher from Sadhguru Gurukulam. So please tell me in detail about this journey, because this is so exciting and this might be challenging as well.
You know how they say, do what you love and love what you do.
Yeah.
So for the longest time, I've been trying to find what is it exactly that I love. And I've been exploring multiple things, like becoming a sales rep. I've been a reporter. I've been a babysitter, and then I've done odd jobs here and there, social media. But nothing really stuck. And then I've always admired people who are able to do something and as their discipline and spend their entire life doing that, as a path of their life. And this is, I don't know, it might sound funny here, but there's a movie that I watched, and this is called The Last Samurai. Have you watched it?
I have heard, but I haven't watched.
Okay.
I think I have to watch the Samurai.
The Last Samurai.
The Last Samurai.
So in this movie, there are Japanese samurai people who are living in their village, and the way they live, not just them, but their entire family is dedicated to this craft. And that becomes the path of their life. So that really touched me and made me think that, yes, I want to do something and to do it with such discipline and master it for my entire life. I want to pick that something. And I've also been influenced by my grandfather, अनि मेरो एकजना दाइ पनि हुनुहुन्छ, who's a software engineer. So he's also been picking one discipline and then sticking to it and gaining mastery over it, right? So I've really been influenced by people like that. So when I found classical Hatha Yoga, it's like I came home to it.
Wow.
And I knew that this is what I wanted to do. So more than that, I felt the responsibility to offer such an amazing tool of transformation to as many people as I can. So you can say I felt choiceless, that this and only this is what I wanted to do. So that is how I decided to become a classical Hatha Yoga teacher. But fun fact, just my deciding is not enough.
Yeah, exactly.
So in 2018, once I had applied for the teacher training. But then I was told that, you can look at our other practices and see if you like the practices, how you take it, because 5 months, 5.5 months is a long time.
Living in the ashram.
Right. Which made sense, and
Yeah.
which is how I also got introduced to other Isha practices. तर एक्चुली त्यो दिमागमा किरा जब बस्यो मलाई त्यो निस्किँदै निस्किएन. So I decided this is what I wanted to do in life, and that's how the training, I applied for the training. And so there is a rigorous process that you go through, and I was fortunate enough to be selected.
Wow.
And the 5 months, I can say it just went like a blur.
Is it?
Because I was so involved in what was being
Into the
taught.
process.
We usually do 8 hours or more of sadhana every day. And not just that, we are preparing for how to teach. There are certain aspects that are taught, like physiology, anatomy, and Ayurveda, Siddha. So it was an all-consuming and beautiful process. I enjoyed it thoroughly. And by the end, I could feel stronger. It just built a silent kind of discipline in me to, to build that inner strength within me. I felt like that was what was needed. And apart from that, certain layers that I didn't need just fell off. And I could see that I gained a lot of mental resilience and physical strength. Now, for a normal person, it's so easy to say, yes, I'm strong and mentally fit. But I've always been a sick baby.
Yeah.
When I was growing up also in India, in boarding school, I remember the nurse that we had, she had written the list of people who used to be sick all the time.
Oh.
And my name was on top.
Always on top.
So for somebody like that, to be able to be physically fit and mentally stable and strong, and to be able to do what other people also do, it was a big achievement in it for me. But more than that, I'm fortunate to be able to offer this tool of transformation to everybody, to help them also feel healthier and happier, hopefully. So I'm really happy and looking forward to do that.
So, was it right after your inner engineering you decided to go for Hatha Yoga Teacher, or?
Okay. My inner engineering happened in March 2018. And I was the first one to enroll for that program. I was not even sure whether the program would be happening or not, but I was having my fingers crossed. And so this was in the US.
Oh, you did your Hatha Yoga Teacher
Actually,
training?
I did my inner engineering
in US, right?
In the US. And we were a group of 25 people, I still remember. And I was very excited to do the training. And at the end of it, I cried. And I don't know why I cried. And I remember saying to everybody as a sharing that my life is going to change from today. I don't know how, but it is going to change from today.
You were so confirmed, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think you were looking for that change within yourself, that at any cost I want to change, right?
I was looking for something that would fulfill me from within, because whatever things that I explored, it's not that I would smoke and drink all the time, but I know what that is. I've experienced that. And that didn't give me the high that I wanted. And that I knew that I wanted something that stayed. And I knew that I wanted something that would give me a certain sense of empowerment, which the practices that I did gave me. So it is only after many years. So in 2022, I got certified. So until then, I was still doing my hatha practices, and I was working as a content manager remotely also. So during that time, I also explored other styles of hatha,
Oh, okay.
and it is during that time that I realized that this is not it. I
Oh,
want to teach classical hatha yoga, and I want to do classical hatha yoga.
yeah.
So I did my exploring there.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
after
really
that, I
nice.
realized this is what I wanted to do.
So, what is the difference that you find comparative to? So, what is one difference that you find compared to, the Hatha Yoga that is offered in the Sadhguru's Gurukulam and the other places?
I cannot speak for many other styles of yoga that have come up. And based on my experience from what I've learned, I've done another teacher training in Rishikesh also. So, comparing this to the classical Hatha Yoga that we learned at Sadhguru Gurukulam, I would say it is worlds apart, at least
Wow.
in my experience, because, like I said before, it is such a holistic experience that gives you not just the tool to become flexible, or not just a product that you can sell, or a
Exactly.
package that you can market, but it is a tool, like हामीले नेपालीमा साधन भन्छौँ होइन. So it is sadhana, right? So this sadhana is taught as a way of life. So in the experience of when I did my practices is the biggest difference that I felt between classical Hatha Yoga and the other yoga that I learned. So naturally that dropped off, and I've been teaching classical Hatha Yoga and practicing this since then.
Okay. For me, it's already been 10 years that I have been into a very intense practice, yoga and meditation. So I always remember one verse from Gita, and that is Yogastha Kuru Karmani. Whichever the path I choose, whichever the path I walk, I always choose yoga, and I always take yoga with me. So Anshubadi, today, if we see, especially in Western countries, if we see a lot of people, they are teaching yoga from YouTube, online, and even I have, read few of the books they teach yoga, right? So, what do you have to say about this? Because you are a classical Hatha Yoga teacher, right?
So, Yogastha Kuru Karmani, I think this comes from Lord Krishna's words, right?
Yeah.
In Bhagavad Gita. So, this is very heavy.
Yeah.
But for me, I have seen that there are a lot of practices that are now being available in the Western world, or even here in Nepal, or in India also. But and it's also available in YouTube, and you
Yeah.
can learn it from books, like you said.
Yeah.
We have to understand, at least how we are taught in classical Hatha Yoga, is that yoga is a profound, powerful tool of transformation. Just the very way you breathe can change so many things in your body. So it is of utmost importance that something that is so powerful and something that is so life-changing
Yeah.
should be handled with care. And it is due to this reason that we always teach classical Hatha Yoga in person, and never through online, mediums, or through a book. Because it is important to understand this profoundness, and to be able to offer it as a live transformation from a person sitting right in front of you. Classical Hatha Yoga is offered as it is. So I would like to say that if you have not experienced classical Hatha Yoga, and you have that inquisitiveness and curiosity, you should definitely come and try it out for yourself, because
Exactly.
मैले भनेर अथवा मेरो एक्सपिरियन्स सेयर गर्नुभन्दा पनि धेरै मान्यता चाहिँ तपाईँको आफ्नै एक्सपिरियन्स राख्छ. So
Exactly.
you can come and experience, and you can come and see what it does to you and how it
Exactly.
feels, you know.
Yeah.
So मेरो लागि चाहिँ that was the reason that everything else, other forms or other ways of learning, naturally dropped off. It's not a rebellion or a resistance. It's just how it evolved.
Yeah. So, Anshubadiko आफ्नै स्टुडियो पनि छ. You can contact her. I will provide the link and her Instagram page. So you can follow her and you can book an appointment. You can join her free workshop also. So she's available in Instagram. I will be sharing the link below the. I will be sharing the link. So, like myth भन्ने कि like के भन्ने, but majority of the people I have seen like योगा गर्न लागेपछि चाहिँ अथवा चाहिँ भनौँ स्पिरिचुअल जर्नीमा गइसकेपछि चाहिँ लाइफस्टाइल विशेष गरी माछा मासुहरू जो खाइरहनु भएको हुन्थ्यो अथवा चाहिँ जस्तो अहिलेको हाम्रो लाइफस्टाइल छ नि, उठ्ने सुत्ने अनि खाने, अब भनौँ न ग्याजेटसँगै खाइरहेको हुन्छ अहिलेको बच्चाहरू त होइन. सो त्यस्तो खालको लाइफस्टाइलहरू पनि एकदमै धेरै परिवर्तन भएको म आफूमा पनि देखिरहेको छु होइन. सो वाट डु से इन दिस, बिकज लट अफ पिपल so many people, they want to transform their life, but they are not being able to do in today's time. So how classical Hatha Yoga, or let's say the Hatha Yoga practices will help them, support them in this journey?
I think that's a very wonderful question. And it's true also what is happening. So yoga has different aspects, but apart from it, discipline and conscious living is naturally ingrained into it. When I say discipline, you know, usually there is a negative connotation, but once you start practicing yoga, at least I can say from my experience that you start doing it for at least a mandala, which is a period of 40 to 42 days, like 6 weeks, or you practice it for a period of 6 months, then you start seeing the benefits out of it. Then the discipline turns into joy, because you're able to experience the benefits, right? So naturally, the other things just fall off that was not working for you, because now you are able to enjoy the benefits that is working for you. So it's like a motivation also. Another aspect is that Hatha Yoga is a very inclusive process, because it shows not only the physical practices, but it shows you how to be aware of the way you breathe, of the way you think, of the way you feel, your energies around you. And so naturally, you become more aware and conscious, right, as a result. So this also translates into being empathetic and being compassionate with other things that are around you as you become more aware, other things like other beings or plants or animals or trees. So you become empathetic, or you become compassionate with other fellow beings who are also living in Earth, you know. So you build your connection with Mother Earth, who has nurtured you. So that also comes very naturally as a part of the process. So you learn how to not react, but respond to life.
Yeah.
It becomes, so that's how I'm saying that it becomes your way of living, you know, it becomes your path of life. It's not something that you do, it's something that you are then.
Exactly. We were already there in that spiritual journey, but over the period of time, whatever we accumulated, we forgot that. And when person go into that spiritual journey again, they get awakened or something like that, right?
And yes, definitely. And also I can see that a lot of people, I can see in the context of Nepal, that there is a lot of scope for Hatha yoga
Yeah.
and a lot of scope for growth in
Yeah.
this country. And I can sense that a lot of people are interested
Yeah.
and they want to improve themselves, their health and their well-being, but they just don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And so that is why I think unconsciously, they fall into other things like they would also start, they don't know what to do. So they will naturally just sit with their phone or,
Yeah.
the things like this. So I would say just start from
Yeah.
where you are, from what you have, from what you can. Just a 5-minute practice also you can do. So I would say these things, these little changes, small steps make for a bigger journey
Yeah.
later on. So you can start
Exactly.
like that.
Because the more the simple the sadhana is, how intensely we are doing it really matters like that, right?
It is more than the flexibility, or if you're able to touch your toes, or if you're
Yeah.
able to twist perfectly. So
Exactly.
more than that, it is not about, I would say, it is not a performance.
Yeah. And we are not competing with other people
Exactly.
also.
Hatha yoga is more about how aware you are in the asana,
Yeah.
how conscious you are.
About our breath.
Yes, in the asana, rather than performing it
Yeah.
as an act.
Yeah, because I still remember a long time back when I started my Surya Kriya. It was into the process, but almost for 3 weeks, I find it very hard because I was not that kind of person. But once I started it, there is no looking back.
Yes.
So, yeah, and I have heard a lot of people we were into a spiritual journey. If we see the history also, do we have to leave our house if we are into a spiritual journey? Because I have seen so many people in today's time. They are in their home, they are having their own studio, they are so intense with their own life, they are just happy, they are joyful. And what do you say to people who has this negativity regarding the spirituality, or let's say we are into the process of spiritual life?
Okay. So let's answer this in parts.
Sure.
For, like you said, you started doing Surya Kriya, which is a Hatha Yoga practice that we
Yeah.
teach. So just like anything, right? Just like, let's say you're trying to learn English or you're trying to learn ABCD. हामी स्कुलमा गएर फर्स्ट डेमा, फर्स्ट क्लासमा हामी, are we able to speak the way we do right now?
Definitely
Are we
not.
able to learn the way we do
not
right
at
now?
all.
10 years, 12 years of formal schooling पछि हामी अलिकति अब सक्षम हुन्छौँ हैन.
Oh.
Still we have our bachelors to do, our masters to do, and marriage for other aspects of life.
Yeah.
So I would like to say, just like any other thing that you would like to learn, yoga also is a discipline that takes time, right? But as you keep at it, as you focus on it and keep on practicing it, it builds in you. You become adept at it. So it's just like that. And it's just a matter of few days until you are trying to learn, the practices. Once you get on with it, then once you see the benefits, you will go full on. So that is it. And the other aspect, I remember a funny incident. So म घरमा थिएँ अनि मम्मीले मलाई मैले रुद्राक्ष लाइराखेको थिएँ अनि हामी एउटा भोजमा जानुपर्ने थियो अनि मम्मीले मलाई त्यो रुद्राक्ष खोल अनि तिमीले त्यो रिङ लगाइरहेछौ त्यो पनि खोल अनि म यो डायमन्डको रिङ दिन्छु अनि यो लगाऊ अनि अर्को माला दिन्छु त्यो लगाऊ भन्नुभयो अनि अनि मम्मीले चाहिँ मलाई यस्तो भन्नुहुन्छ कि शी युज्ड टु से हैन यो त जोगी भइसक्यो अब यो आश्रममा जान्छ यो ब्रह्मचारी हुन्छ अब भन्नुहुन्थ्यो अनि मैले यसो भने मम्मीलाई हैन मम्मी मैले त्यस्तो गर्न खोजेको हैन तर अब जस्तो अरु भाइ बहिनीहरुले अरु केटाकेटीहरुले दे स्मोक दे ड्रिंक दे पार्टी and they do other things that they want, but nobody says anything to them,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So if they're allowed to do that, why can't I do this?
True.
And it's a good thing that I'm doing.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I don't know what the problem should be. So my mom was speechless. She didn't know what to say after that. And पहिला चाहिँ उहाँहरूलाई एकदम टेन्सन थियो that, oh my god, my little daughter is going to be a jogi or a
Jogi,
brahmachari.
yeah.
But once they saw that I went to the ashram and actually met a lot of people, I got through the practices, I went through them, and I came back home. And I started practicing here, and I also went and did like jobs, I started working and I started offering these practices. So later on, they saw that, okay, it's not that bad. She's not going to turn into a brahmachari, But it's just the freedom to do what I think is purposeful for me, right? What I think matters the most to me. So yeah, it's not like yoga garyo bhane jogi huncha bhanne haina. It is like a software upgrade, I would
exactly.
say. So who does not want their body, their mind, their emotions, and their energies to perform better? Because you are able to be better at productivity, you are able to do more things, or you become much more calmer and able
more
to
happier
respond,
comparatively to other people,
joyful.
yeah.
And so who doesn't want that?
Yeah.
Who doesn't want to be able to respond the way they want to, rather than just reacting to a certain situation? So that is what yoga is.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to do with changing your entire way of living. Some people do go that way when they become intense, but majority of them, for them, yoga is a tool, like I said, to make your life better. Or you can another aspect of it is it's like an internal bath.
Yeah.
Like Sadhguru says, we try to keep our body clean, right? We take shower. But what do we do for the mind? How
Yeah.
do we keep that clean? So it's like internal bath. Yoga, it cleanses the system also, cleanses the energy system also. So you can just take it like that, like an internal bath.
So if you talk about like classical Hatha Yoga, there are different programs offered inside the classical Hatha Yoga, right?
Yes.
So what are the different forms that has been offered here?
There are many practices within the classical Hatha Yoga that we offer. Some of them I'll mention. This is Upayoga, Angamardana, Surya Kriya, Surya Shakti, Yogasanas, Bhuta Shuddhi. So all these practices are complete in itself. And based on what you are seeking, for example, if you are trying to do something like a workout, a yogic workout, then you can try Angamardana,
Oh, wow.
which is amazing. And it is like a 30-minute process that you can do. And it helps also for weight management, for weight loss. A lot of women these days are looking at balancing hormones and taking care of their PCOS, PCOD, which is so common these days. So for such cases, we offer Surya Kriya, which is such a holistic process, For other things, that there is a cleansing of the system, the 5 elements within the system. There is Bhuta Shuddhi. And for somebody who is a beginner, just wanting to try, then you can try something called Upayoga, which prepares you to do further advanced processes of Hatha Yoga. Yes. So if you also want more details, or you want to learn and know more, then you can always contact me on Instagram.
Anshwadi is right here available, and she's the right person to teach you Hatha Yoga practices.
Also, I would like to add that instead of somebody else telling you what you should do, you should come and experience it for yourself and see if it works for you. And if it does, you can stick to it. If not, then nobody is forcing you to do it, right?
Yeah. So, Anshubhadi, as far as I know, if it sit in the system, it's really hard to give up, right? So, How do you suggest to someone who is into a path of spirituality already they are doing, and they want to explore more of hatha yoga,
Mhm.
or let's say they want to experience the full phase of the classical hatha yoga?
Um, for somebody to take up Hatha Yoga, it is important to taste what it's like. So, the first thing I would say is to just try a small practice, any practice. It can be something called Nadi Shuddhi, it's just a small practice. It's a simple practice which is also available online or on the app. So, you can learn from there also, or you can learn in person. That is available to everybody, because it is a very simple but very powerful practice. So, simple practices like these you can learn and stay consistent with it. And once you stay consistent with it, you will see the benefits that it is giving you. And then you can move on into other practices based on what your preferences are, right? So, I would say it is a whole world by itself.
Yeah.
There is so many things that you can learn. One program that I would definitely recommend is the inner engineering program, if
Mhm.
you're able to do. And then for Hatha Yoga practices, you can pick and choose depending on your preference, like I said. You can also go to the ashram to learn these practices, or
Yeah.
if you do not have the time, like so many people, they're so busy these days, right? So you can come and learn in Kathmandu also, or you can also learn it online. There are simple programs, but they are very powerful programs for people who are trying to incorporate a very small but powerful practice in their everyday life to bring about that change, to bring about health, wellness. This is also possible through these small 5-minute programs. So, yes, I would say they can start with that, but definitely start. Don't wait for something big to happen.
Yeah.
Start from where you are. It's okay, wherever you are. You can start with what you have.
So basically, we talk about like yoga, different types of yoga, right? So in that also hatha yoga is one, right? So what actually is hatha yoga?
Kiran, I would say that I am not capable enough to answer this, because it should, something as profound as this should come from a realized yogi, a master. But I can tell you what my experience has been from the practices that I have learned. Um, so, when we are taught in the training, we say hatha means ha means sun and tha means moon. So hatha means sun and moon, or the masculine and the feminine. The masculine quality and the feminine quality. This is what you're working on, and you're trying to bring a balance
Balance,
between
yeah.
these two. And so, by using what you have, like your body, like your mind, your emotions, your energies, you are trying to align yourself through the Hatha Yoga to bring yourself to a greater potential, or to become a better version of yourself. Yes.
So today's, if we see today's lifestyle, they have a very very different kind of eating style, and so what is a yogic diet? I would like to know.
Okay. So, in the ashram, generally, we have 2 meals a day. Um, Usually around 10:30 in the morning, and 7:30 in the evening. So it consists of a lot of varieties of raw food and cooked food and sweet dishes, and it's yeah, it's one of the most yummy food that I've ever had.
Yeah.
In the yogic diet, we have at least 30 to 50%, if you can have raw food, like let's say in the ashram we have soaked groundnuts, and sometimes we have sprouts, and we have salads, fruits. So that fills up half of the plate.
Yeah.
And then we also have cooked food. We have millets, rice,
Yeah.
or chapati sometimes. And then we have normal vegetables, and no onion, no garlic, vegetarian diet.
Yeah.
And then we also have sweets.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what we have in the ashram.
Okay. So it is seen that once people are into yoga and meditation, gradually they start eating less, or let's say they start eating more raw food. And
Hmm.
so, is there any dietic, is there any diet, or let's say food restriction, that particularly the yoga practitioner or the people who is into a spirituality should follow?
So it's not a hard and fast rule that you have to do this. But as you go on doing the practices, then you can see what your body needs. Like, for example, today, based on the activities that I've done today, my food will be different. If I have a lot of physical activity, then my food is different, versus if I have lesser activity, then my food is different. But you can notice for yourself, right? If that's what I have done. If you have raw food, which is salads and fresh fruits and sprouts and groundnuts, it makes me feel really fresh and really alive and, really light on my feet. But if I eat only cooked food,
Too
let's say,
heavy.
अनि दिउँसो निन्द्रा लाग्ने यस्तो हुन्छ. So
Lethargic.
lethargic, exactly. So depending also on the type of profession that you are in, upon what kind of job that you are into and what you want to do with your life, your food should change, or your food should complement it, right?
Oh, is it?
Yes. So for example, maybe somebody who is running, somebody who is an athlete will
Athletes.
eat differently than
Oh.
somebody who is a teacher or somebody who is a student, right? So that aspect has also been included. There is something called sattvic recipes,
Yeah.
which is highly pranic and high in life energies. So these are basically all your fresh fruits, everything that is fresh and vegetarian. It can be in form of vegetables, or even the rice, dal, everything that we're having, and that is fresh, that has not been in the fridge or, for a
Yeah.
long time. So we basically try to have that to assist the yogic processes that we are doing.
Um, is it necessary that we have to wake up in the Brahma Muhurat to do our sadhana or our practices?
If you can, yes, definitely. So, just to give a context, Brahma Muhurtam is when you wake up around 3:30 to 3:40 a.m. onwards, right? So, if you're able to, then definitely yes. But what I've noticed is that when you start doing your practices, very intensely and with as much dedication as you can, then your sleep quota naturally comes down. Then you're naturally able to wake up earlier than you used to. At least that's been the case for me. But if you're not consistent, then it takes some time to get there. Also, why it is recommended that you do your practices during this time is because the body is more receptive during that time. So it's best if you can utilize this state of the body and do your practices then. But if you're not able to, then it's okay. You can do it early in the morning. You can wake up, and according to your lifestyle, you can integrate the practice into your life.
So, is it basically like at what time we had our last meal also? Does it affect that way also? Waking up early in the morning, or let's say waking up late in the morning?
um, yes, because for example, तपाईँले आज पिज्जा खानुभयो अरे, अनि मोमो खानुभयो अरे, अनि अझै maybe you had rice also a little bit.
Yeah.
So naturally it will be difficult for you to wake up in the morning, right? Very early. Unless you have a deadline or you have to do something, then even if you wake up, you are very drowsy. You don't
Yeah.
feel like doing anything. You don't feel alive and light. At the same time, if you have a light dinner, and if you just have something fresh and something that is simple and delicious, then the body gets enough sleep also, and it is able to, the food is properly processed also, more importantly, and you're able to wake up easily. Yes. So you can, these things are need to be experimented, I would say. Because yes,
Again.
because it has a better impact that
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
So you, one day you have, you know, these things, you have fried food, you have pizza, and then you sleep, you have, you eat a lot and you sleep. Next day you have, maybe you can have dal or roti, or you can have soup and fresh food, just a little bit what you need, and sleep, and you see the difference by yourself how you will feel. I would say you should definitely experiment, and
Self
you do,
examination.
yes, because then you know what is right for your body, right?
Yeah.
Because different people have different bodies, so they have different experiments, different ways of doing things.
Yeah. So Anshubadi, you are yourself a Hatha Yoga teacher, right? And how many hours do you sleep?
It really depends upon what I've done during the day.
Oh, okay.
If you ask me, like recently I was in the upgrade in the ashram, and this is my license upgrade.
Okay.
Um, so when I was there, I was sleeping. We would sleep at around 10:30,
Uh-huh.
and at 4 o'clock, my eyes would just open, just like
Oh,
that.
without any
So
alarm, right?
without any alarm. Yeah. And it's not that I would feel groggy or drowsy, you know, I would just wake up and I'm fresh and I feel good. So that happens. But let's say if you have a lot of work to do, and I've done a lot of classes for days on end, and then I'm taking a break, then I also allow myself that time, you know, just for my body to rest for some days, on some days. But usually my day starts very early.
हामीले कस्तो खालको स्पेसमा योगा गरिरहेछौँ भन्ने कुराले पनि हाम्रो साधनामा फरक पर्छ?
Imagine that you are in a dark and dingy space, maybe with spider webs also. Do you feel like doing your yoga there? No, right? You
No,
don't
not
feel
at
like
all.
being there at all, right?
Yeah.
So हाम्रो bodyले naturally पनि it prefers something that is bright and, you know,
Clean.
clean. So it is really important to maintain the right kind of atmosphere for something like yoga to happen. It's like for a flower to bloom, you need the right atmosphere, you need the right soil, you need the right kind of water, you need the right kind of sunlight and nutrition for the plant, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like that for us to grow as human beings, or us to do this, our practices, our hatha yoga. If it's possible, then we can, it's nice if you can light a lamp, you know, it's supportive, or light an incense stick, or keep the room clean wherever you want to do your yoga. It's not like you have to have a space. If you can, it's really nice, but not a lot of people can have that.
Yeah.
So just even if it's in your bedroom, you keep that area clean where you do your practice, and you do it there every day, so that you're training your body and your mind that, okay, this is my yoga space, it's time for yoga. If you can do it in the same time also every day, that also is very supportive.
Oh, wow. So, today, because people are very busy, right? So, doing yoga for hour and 2 hours might not be possible. But what is that one classical hatha yoga practice that everyone in this busy world can do?
I wouldn't say there is just one, but I understand that there are a lot of us now. We're catching up with our lives and we're so busy. And some people say, I do not have 1 hour. That's a lot of time. Some people say, I have half an hour. Some people say, I have only 10 minutes. So, depending upon the time that you can spend in your life, we offer you practices
Oh, okay.
that is that you can do. For example, let's say you have 10 minutes, right? Then I would say for such a person, you can do nadi shuddhi, you can do chanting, or you could do neck practices. For somebody who has some amount of time that he's willing to spend, for let's say 1 to 2 hours, you can do yoga asanas. For somebody who has half an hour to 1 hour, you can do Surya Kriya, which can be changed the number of cycles that you want to do each day, you know, depending upon how much time you have and what is your need. So Accordingly, the only criteria is you have to be willing. That's the only criteria. We will make it available for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Anshwadi, you offer the yoga programs for pregnant and postpartum mothers also, right?
Yeah.
So, what kind of yoga do you offer? Because, like today, me as being a mother, it's really a life changing to be in certain kind of practices, right? So, what are the yoga programs you offer here in Kathmandu?
Um, so for pregnant women, there is a special set of practices that we teach that has been crafted and structured by Sadhguru.
Mhm.
So these practices help to strengthen and activate your spine. It helps in developing the neurological development of the child as well. And there are practices that help women with normal birth and normal
Oh,
delivery. It
yeah.
makes it easier. So, supporting your muscles, your shoulder blades and your shoulders and the spine area, they start hurting, or there's a lot of weight that is there during the later stages of
Yeah.
pregnancy. So, how to take care of yourself and keep yourself healthy during that stage. So, not just that, we also look into aspects of mantra yoga, and
Yeah.
we also do chanting and pranayam. So this basically this entire program is a very holistic package that takes care of the mother and the upcoming child.
Yeah, because like though I have been practicing yoga from a very long time back, uh, I really wanted to try pregnancy yoga, but unfortunately, I was pregnant during the COVID time, so
Okay.
I could not do that. But I really want other expecting mothers to try this and feel and to make the changes in their life.
That's a good advice, I would
Yeah,
say.
and Anshwadi is a very right person. She'll announce the classes for the pregnant and the postpartum yoga classes, and you will get notified from her Instagram page.
Actually, they I also mm, actually, I usually take classes from people who reach out to me
Uh-huh.
and they say, I want to take up these classes. Or
Okay.
sometimes they will say, this is what I'm going through. Can you offer
Okay.
some practices to me? So,
Uh-huh.
based on that, I'll advise them. And so, based on their convenience, their
Mhm.
availability, their dates, I will set up private sessions or
Oh wow,
even group
that's really
sessions
nice.
that
So
way.
you set up a
So,
private session also, right?
yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, I'm not really announcing the sessions. Like I've recently started doing that, but generally I didn't used to do that.
Uh-huh.
So people I get inquiries, and then based on that I would do the programs.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that is the best way.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now we will be heading to a most exciting session of our show, which is a rapid fire round. And the rule of rapid fire is you just have to answer in a word or
Okay,
just a sentence. So
I'll try my best.
yeah, sure. So are you ready for the rapid fire round, Dee?
Yes, bring it on.
So Sadhguru or Shiva?
Both.
No, you are in a rapid fire round. You have to choose one person.
I would definitely say both, but because Sadhguru is the source of everything that I know, and he is the path for me, I would say Sadhguru.
Okay. So, as being a classical Hatha Yoga teacher, so what do you choose? Surya Kriya or Yogasana?
So my personal favorite is Yogasanas these days. But depending upon the participant, either Surya Kriya or Yogasanas is good.
Okay. So, is there any cheat day in a month or let's say a week that you do not like to do yoga? You just want to be chill in your own way?
For me, being chill is to do my sadhana.
So, what is one thing that you really like about yourself?
That I'm able to become like a child.
So, Which time do you prefer to do your sadhana? Is it in the Brahma Muhurat or is it in the evening?
I like to do it in the morning.
If you were given the option, is it to live in the ashram or to live in your home, the place where you are living right now?
I'm very happy living at home. Ashram, I would like to go and come by once or twice a year. I like that, but I like the flexibility of living at home and having um, that opportunity to go to the ashram and also come back. Best of both worlds.
So, what is that one practice that you would like to do for rest of your life?
For the rest of my life, Nadi Shuddhi and Om chanting.
Wow, that's amazing. So, how do you describe the picture?
My guru, my path, and my purpose.
As Hatha Yoga is balancing the sun and the moon, right? So, in today's time, if we see a lot of girls, especially young girls, are facing a lot of problem regarding their menstruation and all. So, what is one practice that you would like to recommend to the majority of girl, or let's say a women who are facing the problem like PCOS, PCOD, and other related to the other problems?
Yes. So usually when I get people to call the people who call me, they are usually women who are going through PCOS and PCOD also. Um, I don't know if the statistic is true, but even in India, 1 in 3 women,
Oh,
every 1 in 3 women have this PCOS and PCOD. And I've also myself gone through PCOS. And for myself, I wouldn't know. मलाई mood swings हुन्थ्यो है अनि I was every time I was moody and my cycles were not happening like it should, on time, and I would have pain during the menstrual cycles. So there were a lot of things mentally also, I would be very low, I would feel. So I didn't know why this was happening at the time, the awareness नै थिएन के अब
yeah.
अहिले जस्तो छ. So now I feel like, wow, मैले यो बेलामा त्यो बेलामा मैले, if I had known about Hatha Yoga, it would be my college life, and after that it would
Yeah.
be very different, and I would have loved that. So I'm so glad that now we're able to help women
Yeah.
and young people, young women like this. So usually Surya Kriya is something that we recommend to bring that hormonal balance, but not just limited to Surya Kriya. If there are women who want to look after weight management, because also it becomes very difficult to manage your weight once you get your PCOD or PCOS, then you can do something like Angamardana also. So depending upon like who you are, we recommend the practice, but generally Surya Kriya, we'd say. Apart from that, we also have meditation that you can do, a pranayam that you can do as a whole package in itself.
So when you say like everybody can do the yoga and like, so is it that yoga is the solution for all?
I actually do not know, but I have a lot of hope, and I have a lot of faith in the practices that I do. Not because I have heard from somebody that, oh, I did this practice and it worked great for me, but because of how I experienced it and what it did for me. जस्तो मेरो पहिला PCOS थियो, अब अहिले छैन, अनि I used to have a lot of migraine pain and sinusitis to a point where I couldn't do a desk job and I couldn't look at a computer for more than 2 hours. So that is gone now.
Oh, wow.
And I am, in my own way, I'm living a miraculous life. So yoga for me is like a miracle, It's like how a person uses a crutch, like for their help. Yoga is my anchor, It's like my refuge, and I go to it for every single thing in my life, whether I have issues with the people that I'm dealing with, or I have issues with my health, or issues with my work. For me, my sadhana has answers to everything.
Oh, wow.
So, some people like me look at it this way. I
Yeah.
don't know how other people choose to look at it.
मलाई अझै पनि एकदमै राम्रोसँगले याद छ कोभिड भइरहेको टाइममा लाइक सो मेनी पिपल वेयर क्लुलेस जो सबैजना हामी घरमै थियौँ अनि
हजुर।
कति धेरै मान्छेहरूसँग साधन थिएन टुल्स
हजुर।
थिएन आफूसँग इनवर्ड जर्नी पस्ने होइन सो दो आई हेभ बिन प्र्याक्टिसिङ योगा फ्रम भेरी लङ टाइम ब्याक यु अल्सो नो द्याट बट यु नो गर्न त गरिरहेको थिएँ तर कस्तो त्यो मनमा कहिलेकाहीँ क्वेसन्सहरू आउने कि तर कोभिड भएको टाइममा जब म प्रेग्नेन्ट थिएँ नि सो त्यो बेलामा मलाई एउटा कुरा चाहिँ यस्तो फिगर इट आउट के भयो कि भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ माइट बी त्यो कोभिड भएको कारण पनि म एकदम धेरै योगामा इन्टेन्स हुनु पनि थियो कि जस्तो पनि फिल भयो अनि मेरो वोममा जो बच्चा आइरहेको थियो नि उसले मलाई एकदमै त्यो पाथमा अझै लिएर जान खोजिरहेछ कि जस्तो फिल भयो किन भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ every single time I'm in a meditative state के most of the time भनौँ न my husband used to search around के might be she's somewhere in the corner she's meditating or she's doing her own practices जस्तो हुन्थ्यो कि तर generally normally हाम्रो हेर्ने हो भने चाहिँ प्रेग्नेन्ट वुमेनहरूले धेरै त्यो योगाहरू गर्नु हुँदैन एक्सर्साइजहरू गर्नु हुँदैन भनेछ नि सो मेरो जति पनि त्यो एउटा नेगेटिभहरू थियो नि थट्स प्रोसेसहरू थियो नि योगाको लागि प्रेग्नेन्सीमा मैले त्यो चाहिँ एकदमै उ गरेँ कि च्यालेन्ज गरेँ कि अनि इभन त्यसकै रिजल्ट पनि होला कि बट I had a very joyful and a very happy pregnancy and a postpartum journey. Sadhana that I kept might be because of the priority that I gave to my sadhana on an everyday basis. I used to wake up around at 3 a.m. in the morning after 4 months of my postpartum because my concern has always been into like doing yoga so that during the daytime I can breastfeed my child. But early morning, I always believe that my mental health, my physical well-being matters because I cannot pour from an empty vessel, right? So I always prioritize.
So, while it is true that sadhana can do wonders, it is very important that, as a pregnant woman, you really take care of the practices that you are doing. So as a certified teacher for pregnancy practices, that is what I would say, that you learn from the right source and you don't do just random practices, and you take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Coming to you, waking up at 3 a.m., I think you are heading towards the journey of becoming a true Hatha yogi. So kudos to that.
Thank you.
And a lot of us women, especially हामी नेपाली महिलाहरू, हामीले चाहिँ आफ्नो घर परिवारमा सबैको ध्यान राख्छौँ हामीले है.
Yeah.
So taking care of other people, of your loved ones, need not mean that you abandon yourself.
Yeah.
Yes? So, because that is also important. How else, like you said, how else will you pour from an empty cup?
Yeah.
So, if you are able to take care of your own health, your own physical and mental well-being, you are able to be the best version of yourself for everybody around you and the child that is growing within you. So, sadhana helps you do that. And Hatha Yoga helps you do that. But it definitely has to be the right kind of practice.
Yeah.
Yes.
And right kind of person, right kind of atmosphere needed to be there, right? So, Anshubadi, actually, like when I was going through your profile in Instagram and there was one picture I really want to know more about it. So, could you please tell me how did it started and was it your, conscious decision to?
So this is a picture from when I was bald. This is in 2018 in the ashram. Navratri dasaiko time ma थियो यो अनि मैले साडी लगाएको थिएँ. So एक वर्ष म युएसमा थिएँ नि, जब 1 year अगाडिदेखि नै 2017 देखि नै मैले डिसाइड गरिसकेको थिएँ द्याट आई वान्ट टु सेभ माई हेड भनेर,
okay.
बिकज दे से इट्स गुड फर यर इन हेल्थ एन्ड वेल बिङ के त्यहाँ यु क्यान अफर इट टु द देवी ओभर देयर इन द आश्रम. सो आई डिसाइडेड आई वान्ट टु डु दिस भनेर, बिकज आई हेड नेभर डन समथिङ लाइक दिस. And not just out of excitement, but I also wanted to sense how my sadhana will be different. So I had done this, and I knew that my parents will not be okay with this. So I went to the ashram and shaved my head. And then after a few days, मैले भिडियो कल गरेँ. अनि मेरो मम्मी पापाहरू कस्तो सक्ड हुनुभयो. But then after I stayed in the ashram for around 6 months. So त्यसपछि फर्किँदाखेरि चाहिँ हेयर ग्रो भइसकेको थियो. अनि all was well.
Kind of like relief.
I was forgiven.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's good memory.
Yeah, exactly. So Anshubadi, actually, what is the one piece of advice that you would like to give to the people who are watching us today and who want to walk in the path of spirituality, or let's say who want to become a Hatha Yoga teacher?
So I would like to quote Sadhguru in this, that yoga works miraculously, but you have to do it. It's just like food. Only if you eat, it works for you, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same for yoga. For people who want to get into the teacher training, I would say it is a lifetime experience. There is nothing like it. And I would say dive right in. If you have not done other practices, and if you are a new practitioner or a meditator, then I would say definitely you try a few of the practices before you go into the teacher training. But I would definitely recommend it. Yes.
Okay, Anshubadi, thank you so much for your precious time. I know you are a very, very busy person and out of your busy schedule, you gave me time for my show.
So thank you so much for having me in the show, Kiran. And I am so proud of you, even though I know that you've been doing sadhana so intensely, you're still making time for all the things that you're doing, like the podcast, and even you are a mom of twins. So it's an amazing job that you're doing. And I think that if somebody like you can do it, then other people can also do it. If they can make at least 5 minutes or even more, time for their own well-being, their own health, then it will be good for everybody. So exactly. I would like to give that message. And thank you so much. It's been so wonderful to do this.
Thank you so much for coming. And I'm pretty sure that you have already transformed many people's life through the classical Hatha Yoga. And in upcoming days, definitely more people will be more joyful, more fit and gorgeous, yes, like Anshubadi. So Anshubadi, thank you so much for coming in my show. And
it's been my pleasure.
I have a beautiful gift because I want to cultivate a reading habit in my show.
Thank you.
This is a gift. So this book is sponsored by Maya Publication, located at Putali Sadak. The link will be shared in my YouTube channel.
So I'm really into reading, and this is definitely something that I would keep and I would read. And I think this is something that I might want to go back to again and again, just to refer to it again in my life. Thank you so much.